Most men are looking for shortcuts, a faster way, an easier path, something that demands nothing from them. Musashi didn't believe in shortcuts. Not once, not ever. Because shortcuts are for men who haven't decided what they are yet. Musashi decided, early, and he never looked back. He believed in rules, hard ones, 21 of them. Rules he didn't write for fame, not for money, not for recognition. He wrote them alone, sick, facing his own death, not afraid. Musashi was never afraid. He called this document the Dokudo, the path of aloneness. 9 pages, written 9 days before he died. His entire philosophy distilled for any man willing to actually live it. This is not a soft philosophy, not a comfortable one. These rules will cost you something, your shortcuts, your excuses, every soft habit you spent years building walls around. If you're not ready to pay that price, close this video now. Go find something easier. The internet is full of it. But if some part of you is tired, truly tired, tired of who you've been settling for being, stay. Because this is what Musashi left behind for men like you. And it will change the way you see yourself. Before we begin, you need to understand who wrote these. Miyamoto Musashi was not a philosopher who sat in libraries. He was a warrior, a killer. By the time he wrote the Dokudo, he had fought in over 60 duels. He never lost, not once. He was wounded, starved. He slept in dirt and cold and silence. He lived alone for decades, and at the end of all of it, he distilled his entire life into 21 sentences. That is not a man guessing. That is a man who tested every single belief in fire. When a man like that tells you how to live, you listen. Rule 1. Accept everything just the way it is. Most men waste enormous energy fighting reality, their past, their circumstances, what someone did to them, what they didn't get. Musashi saw that fight as the first and most fatal weakness. Not because your pain isn't real, because the war with what already is a war you cannot win. Acceptance is not surrender. It is the decision to stop spending power on what cannot be changed and redirect that power toward what can. The man who accepts reality moves faster than the man who argues with it. Accept, then act. Rule 2. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. This one will make you uncomfortable. Good. Modern life is built entirely around pleasure, comfort, entertainment, stimulation, escape. Musashi called this a trap, not because pleasure is evil, but because making it your goal destroys your ability to tolerate anything that isn't pleasurable. And real life, the kind that builds a man of substance, is not pleasurable most of the time. It is hard, it is cold, it is lonely at 3 in the morning when no one is watching. The man who chases pleasure cannot survive those hours. Stop making comfort the destination. Make it an occasional reward, nothing more. Rule 3. Do not, under any circumstances, depend on a partial feeling. Half feelings destroy men. The half commitment, the maybe, the I'll try. Musashi had no word for halfway. When he decided completely. When he acted with everything. You have felt the weight of a partial feeling. The relationship you stayed in out of guilt. The career you kept because changing felt too uncertain. The version of yourself you're maintaining because full commitment to better is terrifying. Partial feelings keep you stuck in between who you were and who you could be. Decide fully or don't decide at all. Rule 4. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. This cuts against everything modern culture tells you. You've been told to focus on yourself, protect yourself, promote yourself. Musashi said the opposite. A man consumed by himself becomes small. His world shrinks to the size of his own reflection. Ego, real, unchecked ego, is a cage. Think deeply about the world, about what matters beyond you, about the men who came before and the ones who will come after. A man who carries something larger than himself is harder to break. Rule 5. Be detached from desire your whole life long, not numb. Detached, there is a difference. Numbness is avoidance. Detachment is mastery. The detached man can still want things, he can still work toward them, but he is not controlled by them. He does not panic when they don't arrive. He does not collapse when they are taken. Most men are slaves to desire and don't know it. They need the validation, the approval. The outcome they've decided is the only acceptable one. Musashi walked away from all of it, everything he ever wanted. He was prepared to lose. That freedom made him dangerous. Rule 6. Do not regret what you have done. This is not permission to be reckless. This is a command against the most destructive habit most men carry everywhere. Regret is weight. Useless. Paralyzing. Weight. What you did with what you knew, what you were, what you had at the time. To stand in the present and condemn your past self, that is a kind of dishonesty. Make better decisions now, but leave the past where it belongs. Carrying regret is like keeping a stone in your boot for a wound that already healed. Take it out. Walk. Rule 7. Never be jealous. Jealousy is a confession. It is you telling the universe that you do not believe you are capable of what another man has. Musashi never looked sideways at another warrior's skill. He studied it, absorbed it, then went home and trained harder. The man you envy is not your enemy. He is proof of what is possible. Every hour you spend being jealous of another man's results is an hour you could have spent building yours. 7 rules. 14 to go, and I need you to understand something before we continue. These rules get harder. The first 7 were about the mind, how you think. What comes next is about how you live, day to day, decision to decision. This is where most men nod along and go back to exactly what they were doing. Don't be that man. Stay with me. Rule 8. Never let yourself be saddened by a separation. People leave. Things end. Chapters close. Musashi understood this as a law of life, not a personal injustice. Men who collapse under separation have made one fatal mistake. They placed their stability inside another person. Your peace cannot live in someone else's hands. It was never built to. When things end, and they will, let them end cleanly. Grieve what was real, then stand back up. A man who keeps his spine through loss is a free man. Rule 9. Resentment and complaint are appropriate neither for oneself nor others. Resentment is poison you drink hoping someone else gets sick. It doesn't hurt the man you resent. It corrodes you from the inside. And complaint is the announcement that you have decided to be a victim. Every time you complain, you are telling the world, something is happening to me and I have no power over it. Stop saying that, even if it feels true. Especially if it feels true. The man who refuses to complain is forced to find solutions instead. That is who you want to become. Rule 10. Do not let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love. This will be misunderstood. Let me be clear. Musashi is not telling you to feel nothing. He is telling you not to be controlled. Decisions made from lust destroy careers, families, and reputations. Decisions made from the desperate need to be loved, any version of love from anyone, make men compromise who they are until nothing original remains. Love. Feel deeply, but lead with your principles, not your hunger. Rule 11. In all things have no preferences. This one is subtle and brutal. Preferences create dependencies. I need it this way. I can only work under these conditions. I have to have this. Those sentences are chains. Musashi trained in heat and cold, in darkness and open fields. He ate what was there, slept where he could, Because a man with no rigid preferences cannot be manipulated by comfort. He functions everywhere, in any condition, on any day. That adaptability, that is a weapon most men never develop. Rule 12. Be indifferent to where you live. A man who needs the perfect environment to perform is fragile. Musashi lived in caves, in dojos, alone in the wilderness. He was the same man in all of them. Your circumstances do not determine your standards. You do. Show me who you are when everything is wrong. That is the real measure of a man. Rule 13. Do not pursue the taste of good food. This isn't about food. Not really. It's about appetite. The man ruled by his appetites, for food, for luxury, for sensation, is not fully in control of himself. Musashi was a man of minimum requirements. He took what he needed, nothing more. Practice wanting less, not as punishment, as proof that you own yourself. Rule 14. Do not hold on to possessions you no longer need. Most men are drowning in things they are afraid to release. Objects, habits, old identities, outdated versions of themselves. Musashi traveled light because a heavy man moves slowly, and a man who cannot release what was cannot fully arrive at what is. Ask yourself honestly, what are you holding on to right now that no longer serves you? Not the possession, the pattern, the story you keep telling yourself about why you can't change yet. Let it go. 14 rules. You're still here. That means something. Most men kicked away after the first 2 minutes. They heard no pleasure, no preferences, and made a decision. You didn't. 7 rules left. These are the deepest ones. The ones that separate men who understand discipline from men who are actually living it. Rule 15. Do not act following customary beliefs. This is a direct challenge to everything you've been told to want. The house, the status, the life that looks correct from the outside. Musashi didn't care what was customary. He cared about what was true. Most of what men chase, they chase because other men are chasing it, not because it aligns with who they actually are. Ask yourself, without society's script, what would you be doing right now? That question is uncomfortable. The answer is important. Rule 16. Do not collect weapons or practice beyond what is useful. Musashi, the greatest swordsman who ever lived, is telling you not to obsess over your tools. Let that land. Most men spend more time acquiring resources than developing the self that will use them. More apps, more equipment, more information they never act on. None of it matters if you haven't done the work on what's inside. Sharpen the man first. The tools are always secondary. Rule 17. Do not fear death. This is the center of everything. Every weakness, every compromise, every small humiliation a man accepts traces back to one root: fear. The fear that if you hold the line you might lose something. Comfort, relationships, safety, approval. Musashi faced actual death more than 60 times, with a sword in his hand, and he walked into every one of those moments free of fear, because a man who has decided he is willing to lose everything cannot be controlled. What are you afraid to lose right now? That thing, whatever just came to mind. That is what controls you. Face it. Rule 18. Do not seek to possess goods for your old age. Don't live now for a comfort you're hoping to earn later. Men who spend their whole lives preparing to live die without having done it. This moment, this choice, this discipline. Now, not eventually. Now. Rule 19. Respect the gods without counting on their help. Believe in something larger than yourself. Musashi did. But don't make that belief an excuse for passivity. Don't pray for what you can work for. Don't ask the universe for what you are unwilling to earn yourself. Reverence is not the same as dependence. Honor what you believe in. Then stand up and do the work. Rule 20. You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor. Your body is temporary. Your integrity, your word, your character, those outlive you. Men who protect their bodies at the cost of their honor live long, small lives. When the moment comes, and it always comes, that you must choose between your comfort and your character, choose your character every single time. Rule 21. Never stray from the way. This is the last rule, and the only one that contains all the others. The way is not a destination. It's not a goal you achieve and then relax. It is a daily, hourly, moment-to-moment commitment to being the man you have decided to become. Musashi never took a day off from the way, not in victory, not in age, not on his deathbed. That's why he wrote these rules 9 days before he died, still on the way, until the very end. And that is the real question this video was always asking. Not whether you understand these 21 rules, whether you are willing to live them. The man who walks this path will lose things, comfort, the approval of people who never wanted more for themselves, easy pleasures, but what he gains cannot be taken. Musashi didn't leave these words for history. He left them for the man watching this right now. The man who is tired of who he's been, the man who is ready. You've heard the 21 rules. Now you have one decision to make. Are you going to read them, or are you going to live them?